Hi, I'm going to be doing a review on In the Upper Country. It's a novel by Kai Thomas. It's a newer book. I found it at my local library. I would just have to start out by saying that it was a good book. However, it just wasn't really for me. So, which I thought it would be, but it kind of wasn't. Basically, this novel is a novel that takes a lot of close attention to detail, as it does switch places and times quite often and goes back in time and then jumps plot lines a little bit. So it's for somebody who enjoys historical fiction and it's closer to detail. So basically the book is about we have basically two main characters. Our protagonist is a woman named Lencinda, and she is it takes place in Canada during the late 1800s, and it touches base on indigenous slavery and the relationships between escaped slaves and indigenous people. And Lencinda, they live in Canada, and Lencinda, she is working for a writer, working in a newspaper kind of business, and then she hears of a story that happened in their town, which was an older woman who had escaped slavery and was living in a safe house. She I guess a slave hunter had come to find her, and he came with an Indian man too, and she killed the slave hunter, and so she was in jail, and Lencinda, for the newspaper, has been assigned the task of interviewing her and finding out why she did what she did, so that she can put out a nice enough story to where people will find her name is Cash, who had escaped slavery, so that they would think that, oh my gosh, she is justified for this because she was doing what was best for her. So it's just kind of back and forth interviews. We do learn that Cash is actually Lencinda's biological grandmother, and so it just goes back and forth through time through both of the women telling their stories and different stuff like that, and how they intertwine and connect, being that they are relatives. I found this to be an excellent read, detail wise and stuff like that. There was a lot of good details and stuff, and the writers, the author's style of writing was beautiful. It really was. It was captivating, but I found myself being completely lost at times because I didn't know where I was or what was going on. I kind of lost pace in the book. It's you have to very much stay on task. But other than that, I found it to be a good book. I skimmed over quite a bit of it just because I felt so lost. But it was really good, and there was a lot of stories in there that were very interesting. Things that happen. It really, really does dive deep into the relationships between indigenous people and white people and African Americans, slaves, and stuff like that. I didn't know. I'm a historical fiction reader. I really was looking forward to this book, and I learned a lot about the role that indigenous people played back then. I didn't know that stuff, so it was good. So I do recommend giving this book a read if you are somebody who can pay close attention to detail and stay on task when you're reading. Other than that, it's a very good book, and I would recommend it to historical readers. So there's not a movie on... Yeah, so it's a good book.